Welcome back to Stoic the Flow, where we delve deep into the psychology of human behavior. Today, I'm going to share a very dark and powerful psychological secret that will have them chasing you like a moth to a flame. However, it's important to note that this is not for the timid. If you're ready to flip the script and take full control of your relationships and your life, you've come to the right place. Think about it. You're the one chasing, constantly reaching out, sending that text, checking your phone, hoping for the slightest sign of attention from someone who barely notices you. They're ignoring you and brushing you off like you're nothing. But let's be honest, you're still chasing, still hoping they'll notice, still waiting for that one moment when everything will change. They get farther away the harder you try to catch them. Like trying to catch a butterfly, the harder you try, the farther away it goes. Now, imagine what would happen if you could flip that dynamic. Imagine if they were the ones pursuing you rather than the other way around. I'm not talking about the basic "don't talk to them" advice you've heard 1,000 times. That won't work. You can't just be quiet and wait for them to realize your worth. I can promise you that. The truth is darker, deeper, and more effective than anything you've heard before. Stay with me, because I'm about to reveal the real secret, the psychological game changer that will change the whole power dynamic. Continue to follow me until the conclusion, as you will acquire a technique that is so potent that you will question why it was never taught to you until now. Close your eyes for a second and picture this. Imagine them chasing you. Picture them feeling that burning desire, that urgency you once felt, desperately wondering where you are craving your attention, replaying every interaction with you in their mind. How does it feel when the tables turn, when they're the ones regretting the distance they put between you two, when they can't go a day without thinking of you, without wanting to know what you're doing? That's the power of this secret. This is where we're headed in this video, folks. You're about to learn how to create a psychological pull, so strong they won't be able to resist. So if you're ready to master this dark art, hit that like button. Now every like helps us reach more people who are ready to take back their power and turn the tables in their favor. Let me break it down for you with a powerful example. Sarah has been after Max for weeks or even months. She calls and texts him to try to get his attention, hoping he'll notice her. However, Max has been aloof. He maintains a safe distance, providing her with just enough to pique her curiosity, but never enough to make her feel secure. But now things start to change. Sarah was sick of the one-sided, if Chase decides to disappear, she will stop attempting to contact him and will cease communicating with him. Max will feel her absence more than you think. He'll wonder where she went and why she's not around anymore. He might even reach out, but when he does, he'll see the same old Sarah that he turned down 1,000 times. He won't be chasing her this time. He'll probably reject her again and move on with his life. This is the dark truth that no one wants to tell you. If you just disappear and expect them to suddenly care, you're just fooling yourself. Simply put, you need to change into someone they can't ignore. It's not enough to just fade into the background. You need to come back as a much better version of yourself that isn't available in their games anymore. That's how you attract their attention. There is a 7-step process that will change the way they think about you forever. These steps will make you seem mysterious, powerful, and irresistible. As soon as you start using them, they won't be able to think of anything else. So buckle up, because once you start, there's no going back. I want you to utter this statement aloud, as words hold immense power. This is your declaration of control and a reminder of how powerful and alluring you really are. Repeat after me. They are crazy about my silence. Don't just say it. Feel it and write it down in the comments below. Let it sink in. Silence is more than just the absence of sound. It occupies their minds. It silences them and draws them closer to you. When you embrace this power, you become an enigma, a force they can't resist. Type it and tell the universe you're ready to harness this force. Remember what I told you? These 7 dark steps will permanently shift your reality and put you in charge. Get ready to watch as they chase you desperately in a way you've never seen before. All right, let's dive into these 7 steps that will change everything. Stay tuned. Once you know what's coming, you can't go back. Step 1. The inscrutable response. So you've gone silent. Now get ready. They'll reach out. It may take some time, but trust me, they'll come back with that first message. While it may appear as a friendly greeting, they are actually attempting to understand what transpired, wondering where you've been and whether you're still waiting for them. It might be as simple as, "Hey, how have you been?" However, be aware that they are actively seeking solutions. But here's the catch. If they find the same eager person they left behind, still waiting and explaining themselves, they will withdraw once more, believing that nothing has changed. They're still here, still revolving around me, but you're no longer that person. This is where the unclear answer comes in. When they reach out, they anticipate a barrage of answers, details, excuses, and possibly even an apology. Instead, you give them a reaction that leaves them hanging, wondering what just happened. Your answer should be short, cool, and a little detached. For instance, if they text you and ask, "Where have you been?" or "What's up?" you could respond, "I've just been busy with some more important things." Let's talk about why this hurts first. The answer is short. You're not writing a book, giving long explanations, or letting your feelings out. And that's the real power. Your talk about more important things implies that you no longer value them. You left them confused by focusing on something else. You've taken away the thing they depended on the most, your attention, and now they're wondering what could be more important than me. Imagine their feelings. They were your world, the person you always made time for, but now you're moving on to better things. When they come to terms with this, it's a profound realization. They will begin to question why your actions are so much more significant than theirs. Some of you may be wondering if they'll even notice such an easy answer. Indeed, individuals tend to gravitate towards unfamiliar concepts. If you leave them with more questions than answers, they'll start to think too much and wonder what you've been up to and why you're suddenly difficult to find. The allure of mystery is irresistible. It's akin to discovering a torn-out last chapter in a book. The absence of tranquility will compel them to seek out the next chapter and make sense of it all. Your goal with the inscrutable response is to leave the door open just a crack, but don't give them a way in. You're creating a space where they can't reach you fully, and that space will keep them awake at night, obsessing over what you're up to and why you've changed. Some might call this playing games, but trust me, this isn't manipulation. It's about reclaiming your power. You're showing them that your world doesn't revolve around them anymore, that you've evolved into someone far more intriguing, someone they can't easily have. You're taking your silence and turning it into a force so magnetic, it speaks louder than words ever could. Here's a burning question some of you might have. Won't they just get frustrated and walk away? Maybe, but let me ask you, are you trying to keep them around by any means, or are you trying to flip the script and make them see you in a new light? If they really care, if they truly want to understand what's happening with you, this response will pull them in deeper. Curiosity is a powerful thing. When people don't have all the answers, they get obsessed with finding them. Imagine them reading your message, busy with more important things, and replaying it over and over in their head. They'll wonder if you've met someone new, if you're working on something big, or if you're simply living a full, rich life without them. The more they try to figure it out, the more they'll ache with the desire to have access to you again, The more they want to know, the more power you hold. This step, the inscrutable response, is like planting a seed in their mind. You're letting them feel the distance, letting them wrestle with your choices, your new priorities, small but effective. The less you say, the more they'll worry about what they don't know. They'll keep checking their phone for a follow-up, hoping that you'll slip up and tell them more, but you won't. If they text you with a question like, "What's more important?" logically, avoid explaining or delving into specifics. Instead, respond with something like, "Oh, just some exciting changes." It's been unclear and mysterious, and that's more than enough to drive them crazy. They will put together any piece of information they can find about you to try to figure out this new, hard-to-find version of you. I want you to know that this is just the first step. As you get better at watch how quickly they start to see you differently, as you give them less and just enough to keep them hooked. Your story will become addicting, and they won't be able to look away for long. The goal here is simple. It's to keep them interested, not about keeping them out completely, but about making a place that is so appealing that they find it fascinating that they can't help but run after you. The more they want to know, the more they'll come to you to learn. Let's make this official with a statement that will help us stay in this new frame of mind. Say it out loud with me. I am the mystery they seek. Write it down and feel the power within it. These words are just the beginning. Stay with me because we have even darker secrets to talk about. Get ready because we're about to go into the psychological mirror. This is about reflecting back they gave you energy, but in a surprising turn of events, you've become quiet and established some distance between you and them. But trust me, the effect you're having is huge. If they don't take any action, the influence will be strong and they will feel the full impact. They will miss the space they gave you, and it will affect them in a way they can't shake. When they look in the mirror, you act as a force to control them. Observe what they overlooked. This is the process. Keep everything in mind. Those times when they left you hanging and made you feel like you weren't important, or when they made you doubt your worth every time you feel left out or small. You're now giving that back to them without a single word. To use a psychic mirror, you don't have to make noise or answer. You're not interested in demonstrating through your actions that the world you're creating no longer includes them. It's just that you're changing, and they're no longer a part of your story. This is when they start hearing from friends that you're doing well in living do the things they thought you could never do. When they see you moving forward with confidence, they won't be bothered by it, but it will hit them hard, leading them to question what has changed. As they think about you, they also see their reflection. Your actions have now exacerbated the indifference and dismissiveness they once displayed. Change. They are now experiencing a sense of emptiness, and the memory of letting you go haunts them deeply. Some of you might be wondering if this isn't just an act of ignoring them. No, it's not. Not paying attention to them is easy. Mirroring their energy back to them is an art. You're quiet and showing that you're not who they thought you were. You've become a mirror that shows them who they are and could have been. Think about it this way. People take security for granted until it changes. The moment that foundation starts to shake beneath them, they have to face what a psychic mirror forces them to face, what they had and lost. The unpleasant truth is that you've moved on and aren't waiting for their approval, affirmation that you're doing well, and that they weren't prepared for your upset-prone side. At their core, and here's the really cool part, the psychological mirror works. You're not trying to get their attention, you're just living your life. Every time they hear about you, see you, or hear about your success, it feels like a punch to the gut. They'll see you at events with many others, and you may not look back. Observing you, they will witness your strength, confidence, and brilliance. They never thought you'd stop being the person they know you're. The idea that they'll never forget the person is unsettling. Every time they hear or see your name or read a post about you, they are reminded of you. People will notice that you're not the same as before, and it's not because when you play hard to get, it's because you don't need their attention anymore. Your silence isn't a sign of weakness anymore. Empty. It's a mirror that shows them what they lost. Some of you may have, "Don't think that this is cold." It's not. This is not about being cruel. It's about understanding. By taking back your power and putting a limit, you're not completely blocking them out. You're just saying, "I won't." Show them the same half-hearted energy you gave me. You're not pleading for their attention. You've made an effort. The more they experience your loss, the more drawn they will be to the mystery you've become. The psychological mirror is powerful because it doesn't yell at you. It just shows you what you already know. Use words to create a sense of distance between you and demonstrate your need for them as you progress. In your world, and that thought will hurt more than any argument, so now it gets real. When they feel the weight of this distance, they'll want to get back together. They're trying to get back in your life, but understand, don't break the silence. Let them look at the image you made. Playing doesn't mean you're unreachable. Games where you can't be reached because you've grown up. Your world doesn't have the psychological mirror works, giving them a place to try to win you back half-heartedly. Because every time they think about you, they have to feel the hole they made. When they hear about your new life, they'll realize they left. They will carry that reflection with them forever. Let's get this down on the ground. Power. Say it again. I am the reflection they'll never escape. Trust your gut and know that this is just the beginning of stronger, darker days. Trust me, strategies are on the way, and you don't want to miss them. Step 3. Find social media. Your social media profile should now work for you. Be taken seriously. We're talking about making an appearance so mysterious and alluring that people can't help but be drawn in. Imagine yourself as a cloud with just enough visibility to ignite a spark. The key here is to show a lot of interest without giving away too much. Show them just enough to keep them interested, but not enough to make them happy. Are you interested in learning more about my posts? My posts don't solely focus on my personal life. They also explore various topics, putting together an experience. No more endless pictures, no more oversharing, and definitely no by disclosing all the information. You're making a carefully considered, intentional decision. Being there makes them wonder. Forget about overexposure. Instead, focus on your social. The media can be compared to a high-stakes puzzle that is missing some important pieces. You post a picture of a beautiful sunset, a picture of yourself and your friends at a cool spot, or a hint of, "There's something intriguing coming up." But here's the trick. You don't show them the whole picture. They only see a life that it's not about them, but they're still left wondering how the story ends. You're writing the first chapters of a book, but you keep leaving them on the edge of a cliffhanger. Coming back to try to figure out the puzzle you set up. So why does this work? When an individual lacks a comprehensive view, they begin to fill in the gaps with their perceptions, that stunning view, and ask themselves right away, who are they with? There's a small gap in their lives that I am unaware of. The question will eat away at them. It makes you into a puzzle they want to solve, but people naturally can't. When you try to avoid a mystery, picture an artist showing you a trick. They catch a glimpse of something fascinating, but they never get to see the whole trick you're pulling on them. Ask questions out of curiosity, and believe me, interest is a stronger force than if they remember anything else every time they look at your page, of the version of you they can't get to anymore. They see you going strong. They are certain of a life they no longer have the opportunity to participate in, and it's this absence that troubles them. Let's talk. About how often. You don't have to post every hour or share every meal. It's about quality over quantity. One well-placed picture can tell a story. Having no background or a strange post that doesn't explain anything can give you more power. More than 100 changes when you're not around very often, and each post packed a punch. They'll notice every little thing. They'll linger over every picture, and with every look, they'll feel that need for more. Some of you may be wondering if this isn't a bit. Will they even notice? Oh yes, they will. They will encounter individuals who were once a part of the group. Life, watching you constantly, whether they say so or not. They may deny it if you talk to them, but they're watching and will know if you live without. The lesson resonates most deeply when they're succeeding without their approval. Now that they've left, everything is going well for you. Picture this. It's late. They're sifting through your profile at night, seeking a single clue. They want to know your life and activities. However, all they discover are fragments of a puzzle that they struggle to piece together. You're leaving them hanging. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. Every piece of your life adds to the secret. They wish to complete it, but are unable to do so due to missing pieces. Real magic. They might even send you a message just to see how things are going. Just, what's up? But don't give in. This is where you stay in charge. Do not feel like you need to fill in the holes. You have already created the mystery that is your life. Private is now out of their reach, and the distance makes them crazy. That's the point. Think about their place in your life. They know that the harder you are to find, the more they want you. It's impossible for them to stay away from you because they no longer fully understand or predict you. That feeling of confusion pulls them in. The question, "Who are you becoming?" will continually resurface in their minds. People will keep asking for answers, but you don't have to satisfy them. Tell them that you are the key to unlocking this energy. Write it down, experience the power in the words, and inform them of this. A well-thought-out social media profile is just one more way you can keep things under control. Building. This is only the start, people. We're not done yet. If you haven't hit the like button yet, I don't know what to say about this movie. Keep it locked, because the best is yet to come. 4. The dark achievement. All right, everyone, let's go into the dark. Achievement, the kind of success that stays with them like a strong wave shadow. This is the step where you turn your hopes and dreams into clear victories. No matter how far away they are, they cannot escape the pain of sorrow. We're not about bragging or showing off your achievements. Isn't what this is about. It's about becoming the person they'll always wish they hadn't let go of this opportunity to see you. You must put in all your effort to achieve your biggest goals. You delayed projects and plans to focus on work. Now is the time to take care of your health, your income, or anything else that drives you. You should rise, but not for their gain. Each milestone you reach is for you, to remind you that you're changing, growing, and achieving heights they never thought were possible. The secret lies in the fact that their thoughts are unrelated to their actions. You need to be yelled from the hills. Don't let your accomplishments happen on their own. Let word of your progress spread like a grapevine. Imagine them hearing about it from friends they both have. They'll feel the cold edge of sorrow when they realize they stumbled upon a subtle post that shows how much you've grown. As a stronger person, you know they are less important to you. People say that success is the best way to get back at someone, so trust me when I say that. When they level up, they'll see what they gave up. You might be wondering if they truly gave up. Really care about my success? Yes, they do. People are drawn to growth. When it's someone they thought they knew, seeing how well you're doing without them is like a mirror. What they lost in that mirror was filled with missed opportunities and profound sadness. Every new goal you reach and every victory you earn is a sign that you're out. They're out of their league now, and they'll have to deal with that. But don't just think about job success. Your dark success can manifest anywhere, such as in your health. You can share personal growth or even adventures that you want them to hear about. Take charge of your fitness by going on trips to faraway places or learning how to do something new. Every accomplishment is a small but strong sign that you're living a life they don't know. You can no longer view your life as a constantly evolving work of art. The picture changes with each new layer you add and each goal you reach. More complicated and strong, and they'll see the dark has power because it lets people see a new, unknown side of you that they can't be a part of anymore. It's a silent reminder that they overlooked something crucial. Some of you may be wondering, isn't this just about moving on? Yes, but it's more than that. Moving on is inactive. Setting goals is active. You're not just leaving them behind, you're also improving yourself. You're not just moving on, you're succeeding and turning into someone they'll wish they hadn't been. They wouldn't let you go, so here's your challenge. Do something important. Whether it's a new job goal, a personal change, or a hobby project, own it and make it shine. Let your success speak for itself. Leave them with the silence to prove you were busy while they didn't notice. They are assembling a life in which they will never participate. Powerful statement, I am successful, says it all. Write it down and say it out loud. Speak aloud and experience the strength within your body. This is what will keep you going. You should keep watching because the best is yet to come. Take the fifth step, known as the impossible aura. Okay, everyone, let's get started. An aura of inaccessibility. Create a presence here. Imagine a picture of yourself that is visible but untouchable, transforming into the person you are, who's always there but never fully open, someone they can feel but not easily reach. This aura both draws them in and keeps them at a safe distance. They want more, but can't quite get what they want. The magic of the not-reachable aura's beauty lies in how gentle it is. You're not completely cutting them off. You're no longer an easy target. You're not the one who drops everything to answer right away. You're not the one who can be reached at any time. You're living your life, chasing your own goals and dreams, and making the world a place where they don't matter. You're busy being the best version of yourself, and they're just an afterthought. Imagine this. They're used to knowing that they could reach you any time with a simple message or call, but now you're elusive. You don't respond right away, and when you do, it's on your terms. Your presence is like a rare glimpse of something precious, a flash of light that's here one moment and gone the next. That's the allure. The less they can have you, the more they want you. And let's be real, human nature is wired to crave what's out of reach. Now some of you might ask, isn't this just playing hard to get? No, not at all. This isn't a game. This is about establishing your worth. It's about creating a life that's so full and rich with meaning that they can no longer walk in and out of it whenever they feel like it. You're no longer bending over backward to accommodate their every whim. This shift says it loud and clear. You're no longer the center of my universe. You've drawn a line, and the line is not for them to cross whenever they choose. You're the one who calls the shots now. Here's the beauty of this step. The less available you are, the more valuable your presence becomes. When you stop being at everyone's beck and call, they'll start realizing how much they've taken you for granted. They'll feel like every interaction with you is a privilege, something precious, something they can't take for granted anymore. And that realization, that feeling of losing access, is exactly what draws them deeper. They'll wonder if they've lost their place in your life and will ever be close again, which invites people in. They chase what they can't have, creating an aura they can't reach. You are communicating to them that your time, energy, and attention are limited due to your busy life. Every moment they spend with you presents an opportunity for them to develop. Some people crave things that are hard to get. This is a tough pill for them to swallow, especially if they've always take a seat. Thank you for taking it for granted, but now they'll realize the extent of their lack of access, and they'll go to any lengths to regain it. As you step into your own unreachable aura, it's not about acting or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about respecting your own space and setting a boundary that says a lot. You're not shutting them out. Rather, you're forcing them to compete for your attention. Let them feel the distance. Let them wonder if they'll ever get to know you again. Let's conclude by affirming, I am valuable. Remember that when you write beyond reach down and say it out loud, you're creating an air that makes them want to be close, but can't. Stay tuned, because this journey is far from over. The deepest and most powerful strategies are still ahead. Step 6. Rebuild the persona. All right, everyone, it's time to step into the new persona. This is where you transform into the version of yourself they never saw coming, the one who's leveled up, evolved, and left the past far behind. You're stepping into a brand new identity, stronger, more magnetic, and impossible to ignore, and letting that transformation speak louder than any words ever could. Picture this. You're dedicating time to yourself, investing in the parts of you that were once neglected or overlooked. Maybe you're crushing it in your fitness routine, diving into new hobbies that spark passion, climbing the ladder in your career, or adopting habits that push you toward the kind of life that excites and fulfills you. This isn't about just looking better. It's about becoming someone new from the inside out. You're not just upgrading your appearance or skills. You're reshaping your entire energy. You're stepping into the version of yourself who turns heads, commands attention, and walks into a room with that quiet confidence that makes everyone pause and take notice. This is the upgraded you, the next-level version they never imagined. Now here's where it gets truly powerful. You're not doing this for anyone's approval or validation. You're doing it because you finally realize that your worth has always been yours. To define this new version of you as focused, self-assured, and unstoppable. It's like you're stepping into a new dimension of yourself when you go beyond people's expectations. Trust me, they'll notice you've become the person they didn't think they could be, and now you're surpassing everything they thought they knew about you. Why would you put yourself through all this effort? My friends, there's nothing more thrilling than transforming into the person they once doubted you could be, someone they abandoned or didn't believe you possessed. But now you're unveiling an entirely new aspect of yourself that they struggle to comprehend, someone they've never had the opportunity to fully comprehend. Imagine that they hear about your transformation through mutual friends, or catch a glimpse of you living your best life, looking happier, more confident, and completely fulfilled. Realizing they're no longer part of the journey, and witnessing your transformation into someone they no longer recognize is a difficult pill for them to swallow. That sting, that deep sense of loss, is exactly what you want them to feel. It's like seeing a phoenix rise from the ashes and knowing they had the chance to stand by your side as you changed, but they missed it. Some may think this is just masking and pretending. It's not even close to being real. People don't have to act like someone else when they have a persona. Instead, let out their strongest, most resilient parts that they may have been hiding or doubting. This means shedding old layers, letting go of the past, and embracing a version of yourself that is both authentic and unstoppable. You're not just putting on a front, you're stepping into your truth and letting it radiate outward, leaving an impression they'll never forget. Step 7. The last mental obstacle. Okay, everyone, we've reached the last part of the game, the emotional barrier. The strongest limit, the line between past and future, is set here. They can look, but they can't touch this barrier. It's for you. It's a line they can't cross. It's a force field that says, P is closed, and they'll feel the weight of that closure every single day from now on. This step isn't just a reaction. It's the culmination of everything you've done so far. They've seen you change. They've felt your absence. They've seen you become someone who is now completely out of reach. And now the final piece. You're no longer emotionally available. Think of it as an impenetrable wall that won't give way under any amount of pressure. They will come to understand that they can no longer access the most vulnerable and raw parts of you. Not holding a grudge, but protecting your peace, well-being, and self-esteem. Imagine they're trying to break through that wall to get back into your life, but they can't. Cold silence will greet them each time they attempt to reach you. They'll keep trying, maybe even over and over again, hoping that although the door might creak open a little, it won't. That version of yourself has permanently vanished. You may be wondering why you set such a high barrier when they could have left and let you pass like another option. Well, you're making it very clear that you're not a choice. This wall sends a message to them and you that you deserve respect, loyalty, and commitment, not just for protection. You don't need anyone else to tell you how valuable you are. You already know it, and now no one can touch you. Imagine it as a fortress you've built around your heart, impenetrable to anyone. Every time they fail to reach you, they feel the walls closing in. Every time they try to slip back into your world, they find that there's no room for them anymore. The last emotional barrier is psychological and will affect every part of their body. They'll realize that they can't get into your inner world anymore, and that realization will haunt them more than any bitter words or accusations ever could. They might even try to get in touch with you through mutual friends or leave you cryptic messages to see how you'll react. But each time they'll find that you're not playing the same game and aren't responding the way they expect. You've moved on, and this barrier isn't just a shield, it's a statement. You no longer automatically open the door when someone knocks or waits for their approval or apology. That line isn't about justice, it's about self-respect. It's about being strong and saying, I won't let anyone disrespect me again. Accepting this final emotional barrier will be extremely difficult for them. The distance and empty space between you will be palpable to them. They'll wonder how to get inside and break through that wall, but nothing can. You've built this wall with a level of strength they didn't see coming, and they'll never be able to get back what they lost. The more they try, the more they'll realize that this is it. Once you've moved on, there's no going back. As you construct this final emotional barrier, keep in mind that it's a pledge to yourself that you will never diminish your value once more. No matter who comes calling, this isn't about getting even or keeping a grudge. It's about reclaiming your power. It's a test of your growth, your strength, and your unwavering self-respect. Let's seal this last step with a strong affirmation. I am unbreakable. Write it down and say it with full confidence. Know that this line isn't the end. It's the start of something new. You've reached the end of this chapter, and now you are fully in control. The power is entirely yours. All right, folks, we've reached the final step in this incredible journey. And if you followed along with each stage, you've not only reclaimed your power, but you've transformed into someone they can't ignore. But let me be clear, this is just the beginning. The progress you've made thus far is merely the beginning. We're creating a community of individuals dedicated to personal development, growth, and mutual support at every stage. Join us in this journey by subscribing, sharing your ideas in the comments, and spreading the word. Together, we can propel ourselves forward, advance, and establish a robust network of individuals who inspire and empower each other.